Hello there. I'm Tim Curran, half of the finance couple, and welcome to 2-Minute Tuesdays with Tim, where we look to infuse financial planning with just a little bit of common sense. So today, we've actually have two questions that came in. I want to address those two questions. The first one has to do with valuation. Does it matter when you're looking at a stock or bond? Does valuation actually matter? When you talk about valuation, most people talk about price to earnings ratio. So first off, before we talk about this, I want to throw out the standard disclaimer that past performance is no guidance to the future. The past is totally irrelevant when you're looking into the future. With that being said, however, sometimes the past is the only thing we've got to go off of, quite frankly. So when we look at valuation, in our opinion, it doesn't actually mean a whole lot in the short term over the next year or 2 years, because even though we do believe the market can be efficient, we think it can also be irrational and erratic. And over the short term, valuation doesn't seem to mean a whole lot based on the research that we've done. However, over the long term, whether it's 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, we do believe valuation matters. And we tend to look at what's called the CAPE, cyclically adjusted price earnings. And what it is essentially it's a price earnings ratio that's found from an average over the last 10 years. And we think that has relevance over the long term. One of the things that concerned us in 2021 is that CAPE ratio was trading at well over 35. And over the last 100 years or so, the average was about 16, which is why in 2021, we forewarned people for a number of different reasons, including valuation, that we thought sooner or later the market had to come down. We thought it was overvalued for the long term. And sure enough, that's actually exactly what happened last year. Currently, the CAPE ratio is trading at about 29, so it's still well above that long-term average of roughly 16. And we're big believers that over the long term, there is always a reversion to means. Again, in 2021, people were saying, oh, this is great. The stock market's going up 15 to 20% per year. You know what? Over the last 100 years, the stock market has roughly averaged about 10% per year. So there was going to be a reversion to means in our belief. So again, to answer that first question, does valuation matter? For us, the answer is yes over the long term. Over the short term, not as applicable. The second question that came in has to do with valuation as well, but honestly, the second question was, hey, are you growing a beard? Do you have a 5 o'clock shadow? So the answer to that question is yes, I do this every once in a while. My wife thinks that it looks kind of cool, quite frankly, for a week or two. And in my perception, if she thinks I look cool, that raises my value, so I'm going to do it for a week or two. So all kidding aside, thanks so much for joining us. Please send me an email at tcurran@lpl.com if you have any other questions you'd like me to answer in future 2-Minute Tuesdays. Have a great rest of the week, and as always, please mind your state of mind. Take care.